What's going on, yo? This is Peter back with another book review. Today we doing something educational. We doing something different. Today we doing something a lot of y'all don't want to do. Book is called Radical Forgiveness. Ha! It's Peter, another book review. Let's get it. So in this book, they talk about getting to the root of whatever the issue is. And a lot of times letting go of a lot of these issues is people don't want to let bygones be bygones. You want to stand and fight for your bullshit. Bruh, let it go. Let it go. It ain't that deep, pimp. It's time to move on. You know what I mean? It's time to free yourself from this burden. Let's get into it. All right, let me read something to you that's in the book today. It says, this book requires empathy, understanding, and an open mind to new ways of thinking. Things don't just happen for us. We work for them to happen. Also, understanding the role that we play in these situations. What that sound like? Some accountability, pimp. You ready for that? You ready for that? Read something to you. This book gives a perspective on forgiveness that you may identify with. We live in a cause and effect world, and we're always the cause. So whatever's going on, we play some sort of role in it, and we got some sort of role in forgiving and moving on. You with me? All right, let me read a little bit more. Don't go nowhere. Come on, I got you. Just stay with me. Let me read a little bit more. It says, being victimized makes us place blame on someone who wronged us completely. And the victim consciousness, the need to blame and condemn, is infinitely stronger than the will to forgive. Infinitely stronger. Playing victim than the will to forgive. You don't have to be overly spiritual to understand radical forgiveness, but you should be humble enough to know there is a higher form of intelligence than you and something greater than your ego. Higher form of intelligence greater than your ego. Some out there more powerful than you. You don't have to believe in Jesus. You ain't got to believe in Allah, Buddha, all that. But you have to know that there is something out there that is greater than you. You feel me? Now, the book also says, denying our feelings is denying our purpose. The voice is the main point of energy activation in the body. Denying our feelings. Attached to your feelings. You feel me? All right, I'll just go over a few notes for you guys. I got 10 of them. So number 1, forgiveness and understanding the importance of letting bygones be bygones by understanding that nothing ever really happened to you. It's not personal. It's not just something that happened to you. It happens to a lot of people. There's a lot going on in this world. Stop taking everything so personal, like you're the only one that's having this experience. You know what I mean? Number 2, empathy and open-mindedness. This book requires empathy, understanding, and an open mind, indicating the need for emotional intelligence and receptiveness to different viewpoints. You got to be able to look at it a different way. You got to understand it in a different way. You got to be willing to forgive. You got to be willing to have understanding and empathy to whatever is happening. Like, it's not just a personal attack on you. If you feel like everything is just an attack and you only looking at it from one perspective and you only have one understanding, you ain't gonna get nowhere. It's gonna stay there the same. Ain't nothing gonna change. In order to change these situations, these ideas, let's change our perspective and our mindset behind it. It's simple, right? All right, number 3, a new way of thinking. It says, shifting from the notion of things happening to us to the idea that things are happening for us. Now, whatever I'm going through, whenever Zena going through, she always will call me like, Peter, remember, it's happening for you. It's not happening to you. So it changed the idea from you being a victim to it being empowering. That whatever you're dealing with is happening to build you and make you to a stronger person and get you ready for whatever challenge that's coming and things that's going to come in the future that's going to be challenging to you. You feel me? No. Number 3 is a new way of thinking, and it's shifting the notion from things happening to us to the idea of things happening for us. So Zena will call me, or I'll call Zena and tell her we're going through something, and we always remind each other that things is happening for us, not to us. It takes you from being a victim to making whatever you're going through empowering for future lessons and anything that you will have to go through that's coming, that's going to be in the future. So you just be prepared and you be ready, and it's just building you into a stronger individual. Any book, any philosopher, anything that I've ever read, they always said being uncomfortable and being challenged and being in stressful situations just make you better and more prepared for what's coming down the line. You feel me? All right, number 4 is personal responsibility, emphasizing the role we play in situation, acknowledging our part in cause and effect dynamics, and advocating for taking responsibility for your emotions. How many times have you talked to somebody and they literally laid out a whole story, but in that whole story they did nothing wrong, and every story they go through they did nothing wrong, and then they're sprinkling a little responsibility here and there just to advocate or to try to make it seem like they really trying to take responsibility when they're not. Stop doing that. Stop sitting here emphasizing what other people did, emphasizing how everybody else hurt you, and stop playing victim. That's honestly just one of my biggest pet peeves with people. I hate when people don't take accountability for what they did and the role they played and stuff. So a lot of times, if anybody know me, being vulnerable and being honest is one of my biggest turn on in life with people, man. I love when people are honest and vulnerable with me and they let me know that I can trust you for you just being real about how you feel and where you at in life. You know what I mean? Number 5 is victim consciousness, exploring the negative impact of being victimized, highlighting the tendency to blame and condemn and contrasting it with the will to forgive. Same thing, bro. Just take accountability. Stop playing victim. Stop saying the whole world came after you. Once you take accountability, you will realize the strength and the power you really and truly have. Just like the other day, I read that book, Wise as F, and he said, like, one of the things that really touched me emotionally when he said, biggest gift you can possibly have is responsibility, knowing that you have the will to the car to drive that car wherever you want to go. The power is within you as long as you taking responsibility for your shit. All right, number 6 is spirituality and humility, acknowledging a higher form of intelligence and something greater than your ego without requiring excessive spirituality but promoting humility. Now, I thought this was dope, because it's like identifying something higher than you, not just thinking that everything is based on based off of your ego and what you did and how you did it and all that, and knowing that there's something more intelligent and more powerful than you out there. So a lot of times you can get outside of yourself and think that, or know that you got a higher power that's behind you, that's supporting you, and knowing that you're not just the only thing that's reigning supreme out here and nothing happens without you and getting stuck in that place. You see that a lot of times where people would take for granted everybody that's around them and circling them, or people that's really in a corner, they think it's just them, and then everything falls apart and they realize that they're all alone, and it leads them down a dark, deep road because they're not realizing your ego is killing a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that's coming your way, and a lot of your blessings. All right, number 7, emotional ownership, stating that feelings are a reflection of how we see the situation and advocating for taking responsibility for our emotions. How you feel is how you feel. What you're going through is what you're going through. Everybody not going to feel and see the same way you do. And if you only realizing and only seeing it from one way, it's going to be hard for you to understand outside perspectives and how other people feel. So emotional ownership and seeing how it feels in this situation and taking the accountability for your own feelings and how you feel and how you see it. All right, number 8, energy activation. Noting the role of the voice is the main point of energy activation in the body, connecting to the physical and emotional aspects. Me and Shay got a saying we say all the time: our emotions and our language and our words are dance partners. So just be careful with that. So with your energy, you want to speak positive, you want to feel positive, you want to take accountability, and you want to move in a direction that's forward, not backwards, accepting, not declining, and rejecting anything that could potentially be something positive. So we speak in positivity, we accepting positivity, and we rebuking anything negative on this road. You know what I mean? Reflection of feelings. Recognizing that nobody can make you feel anything, and your feelings are a reflection of how you perceive the situation. So how you perceive it is just one aspect of what's really going on. That's not always just the whole reality. Another person has another perspective. But just because you have yours and they have it, it doesn't give it, they don't have the right to make you feel any kind of way. They can't make you feel any kind of way. Only person can make you feel any kind of way is you, and the voice and the story you tell yourself. So let's make sure we telling ourselves a positive story. We're not lying to ourselves, and we're not looking for any bullshit just to create conflict in these situations that we out here about. You know what I mean? Number 10. Thoughts and emotions. Describing emotions as thoughts attached to feelings, suggestions, connections between cognitive process and emotional experiences. So, learn how to really accept your emotions, know what's going on with you, and knowing your process and knowing how you perceive and how you feel before we be so quick to react and jump into these situations and get us in a bad spot. I just watched Cam Newton get into a fight with people at this camp, and I watched him apologize and realize that he made a mistake and he shouldn't have did it. And that's him knowing himself and knowing the place that he can go to and knowing that he should have did better. And he accepted it and took accountability, even though all of it may not have been 100% his fault. But he still recognized that he could have did better and handled it responsibly in a better way without automatically just ignoring his emotions. But I feel like he took account and, took accountability and did apologize. But that's neither here or there. But this is a dope book, man. Radical Forgiveness. If you did read it, let me know what you think. It's Peter with another book review. Out here.